Hi everyone, I wanted to go ahead and record this video on how to complete your CFE-D, which is due on the 27th of November, and it is also part of your topic 6. So in this CFE, you are creating a lesson, but you are not teaching that lesson until topic 8. So please know that you work with your mentor teacher. You're going to create the lesson. You're going to identify 2 to 4 students with similar literacy skills deficit. So these skill deficits, you already did some in field experience B. So if you want to continue working with students with those students, that is fine. You're then going to go ahead and it says using the lesson plan template of your choice, develop a standard-based literacy lesson plan that will be appropriate for small groups. So what I'm going to ask you to do is, yes, you can go ahead and submit a lesson plan of your choice, but it has to be a lesson plan. It can't be just a Word document. However, I am providing you ones that will probably be one of the most simple ones that I've seen out there that was created by one of our full-time faculty. So the other part is you're going to then plan this lesson, have the strategies, instructional strategies, assessment strategies, the activities for that group. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and practice it with your mentor. So just run through it with your mentor and see if it's clear for her. That's where you're going to then meet with her. After you've practiced it with her or gone over it, go ahead and get some feedback. What do you need to change to make it more effective? What do you need to take out? What do you need to put in? And then go ahead and you're going to be reflecting on that. But here is the big part. It says do not teach it because you're not going to teach it until topic 8. So here is what you need to do. We're going to look at the rubric. So in the rubric, let me move this here. We're going to have, oops, break here. Okay, in the rubric, we have this section here of the rubric, lesson plans, standards, and objectives. That's 2 points. So let me go ahead and show you the template. And all you need to do for this template is just go ahead and put your name, content area. The content area obviously will be the reading or language arts, lesson, date, your, 1 of 1 for the lesson. It's the first lesson, only 1 lesson, that's fine. Your grade level, unit title, pick whatever you would like that you're working on. So if it's coding strategies, if it's comprehension, whatever it is, you can put it on there. Then this standard address and standard statement, those are very important because that's where your 2 points are actually coming from and the objective. So to get this, you're going to go to the Arizona State Standards. Or Common Core as well, that's fine. But in the Arizona, which is azed.gov, and then you just, go to standards in there, let me show you that. Okay, az.gov, it'll open up, it'll look like this, and go to review academic standards. And then, of course, we're going to go into English language arts. And now that we're here, I'm going to ask you not to go to the grade levels, but to go into this one here, which is the vertical articulation of the K-12 ELA standards. This has all of the standards that, all the grade levels that go for each individual standard. So when we click on it, you'll get a PDF like this. And as you see, this PDF has all of the grades that cover the standard of reading carefully to determine the text as explicitly and to make logical inferences from it. So what I would ask you to do is to go to the ones that are not RL, but that are RF. And I'm scrolling through here fast because I know the RFs are way at the bottom. By the way, that's RI, which is informational text. We're going to go to RF right here, which is on your, let's see here. I was trying to see if, yeah, page 22, if you open the PDF, it'll be page 22. So RF, which is the Reading Foundational Skills Standard 1, you see that Kinder and First both have something on there. For the second standard, we have Kinder and first grade. For the third standard, now we have kinder all the way through fifth. For the fourth standard, we have kinder all the way through fifth. So if you wanted to pick an older grade, you'll pick either from the third standard or the fourth. And in here, when you are going to copy the standard, I'm going to go to one that's big. If you copy the standard, so this is the address part. You're going to copy and paste that part into your address. And I'm okay putting it right there. And then when we go into the statement part, this also has to be in it. You do not have to choose every one of those letters, because if you choose, let me put this in here first. We're going to do that. We're going to then enter and choose one of these to be our standards. So yes, students are going to demonstrate in kindergarten, understanding the spoken words, our syllables and sounds, phonemes. They're going to identify and produce those sounds in spoken words. They can recognize and produce those rhyming words. Are they going to add, substitute, and determine those individuals? So this is all, you don't have to choose all of them, because you will not have enough time to do all of these standards. And one way I can, I'm getting ahead of myself here. So let me go ahead and choose, I already choose that. So let me say I'm going to choose the last one. So I am going to copy the letter and the whole standard. I'm going to cut and paste that into this section here. And no, they do not, you do not have to cite it, because this is public use. It is for all teachers. So there I go. The unit title, maybe that one's going to be just phonemic awareness. And then you're going to write your objective. Your objective should align to this, but should not be identical. So you should not have, like, students will demonstrate understanding of spoken words by creating syllables. No. This is for you. You need to then write it for them, for kindergartners. So I will be able to, what are you going to be able to do? What do they have to do? That is going to be measurable. So I will be able to, draw a line between the syllables, clap each syllables, count how many syllables are in a picture that is shown. If it's phonemic awareness, you can just show them a picture and they can see how many times they clap or divide the word. So they can put, I will complete a picture. I will complete how many syllables are each picture that is shown to me, whatever it is. And please don't put that 80% or 70% met, because that is something completely different. You are just saying what they are supposed to be doing by the end. Okay, so that right there is the 2 points. So don't spend too much on it, but please make sure it aligns. Then we're going to go into the rest of the rubric. So we're going to go back to the rubric here. So now this is the 4 points, and then you have your actual activities is 12. So lesson plan activities and activating prior knowledge, and lesson plan strategies and activities. So you have a total of your lesson plan being worth 16 points. And those lesson plan strategies. So let's go ahead and look at that. So what you want to do is, here is the time that you want to focus on. You're going to develop a lesson for, if it's first through third or even kinder. If it's kinder, I'm going to say 30 minutes. If it is first through third, a 60-minute language art lesson. If you want to do the 90, you're fine to do that. Fourth through sixth grade, for sure, only 60-minute lesson. Okay, and this is from the Department of Education in Arizona. So if you want to, the best goal is to do a 60-minute lesson overall. So think about it, in 60 minutes, you need to put your hook in here. How are you going to capture the student's attention? You're going to tell me how much time that is. You're going to then describe what you just did. I'm going to ask them a question. We're going to start with this. Have you ever, whatever you're going to do. And then any materials you need, you can put in there. I'm not going to be a stickler for the materials going straight down. So if you want to just put them once in here, what you're going to need for your lesson, you are fine to do so. This is the big part though. In here, your first part is how are you activating prior knowledge? So After you hook them, go into the activating. Actually, there we go. Activating prior knowledge. And then how are you activating that? This is it direct instruction, then you mark the direct instruction. If it is, if you're using a strategy, then you're using a strategy. Differentiation, if you're doing notes that are guided notes, and that's what I had over here. So for example, if you're talking about parts of speech or something, and you're giving the rest, all the class notes, but maybe a few students are going to get these type of notes. What is a verb? Well, these are guided notes because they're not all empty. There's just certain parts that they have to fill in, just certain important parts that you feel like they need to fill in. So if they're doing this, or you're doing this to all your students, or just a few, then this would be the part that is, this is the part that would be this section here of representation. That's the differentiation. If you're engaging them, because now they're doing something in the we do or in the you do part, then you would select this engagement box. Expression, maybe you're having them communicate with one another. Maybe you're having them write. Anytime they're communicating, whether it's verbal, written, some form, you will mark those. Can you have one of these? Can you have each marked? No problem. Yes, you can. But in here, you're going to do activating your prior knowledge. Go ahead and write what that is. Then you're going to see how I have here the direct instruction. Then here, maybe I'm using the strategy for now, my lessons plan strategies. I'm using one strategy, then I'm doing an activity with them. I'm going to transition to the activity. So I'm going to transition. And how am I transitioning? I'm transitioning by what do I say? Maybe I say, okay, after this, show your partner. If you're right, come on over. But anyway, this is where you're writing your lesson plan, and that's all you need to just include, just those parts in there. What I'm really going to focus on is what you're being graded on, and that is that you're activating prior knowledge, your activities and strategies. Oh, sorry. And strategies are present. And I want you to, if you have to, please bold or highlight your strategies, not your activities, your strategies that we have been talking about that are not activities. They are actually what helps us to be successful in an activity. So do that. You don't have to fill all of these because you probably will need to. This is a very short lesson. So if you don't fill those out, that's fine. You could just go into this section here and then just delete those rows. And then that brings you up to that closure. And then put your time. It'll help you and it'll help me. I'm not a stickler on the time here because that's not what you're being graded on. But you want to plan a time for your students. So I know I had said this 60 minutes is what a lesson would be, but that might not be the time that you have with the students that you're working with. So ask your mentor teacher what the time is and put that in here. Break your lesson down for the small group time that you're going to spend with them. So if it doesn't equal 60, that is perfectly okay. If it's 20 minutes, that's fine. Just try to, I want to see how you incorporate everything in here with the time that you do have. There we go. Okay, that is all you need to do. I will put this lesson plan template in with this video so that you are able to complete your CFE-D. Then remember that in topic 8, you will go ahead and you should have an updated one after talking with your mentor, and you will go ahead and then teach that lesson. Okay, I hope all of this information is helpful. Reach out to me if you have any questions.